don't know how many years. I spent my life talking with people, trying to help, but I've spent the last 10, 11 years talking with people, trying to help them find themselves. Not that they were lost, just that they weren't aware. The parts of them that they haven't seen yet. Everyone and everything in a body is so much more than they're aware of. It's funny how people don't understand that plants are alive, not just the plant itself, but there's a sentient energy called spirit inside them. And they're more aware of what's going on than humans, and then of course the animals were next to the plants. But the plants had the biggest heads up on that. Things are changing to open up and become what they should have been in the beginning. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this video and repeat a lot of things. I might mention the full understanding, a much fuller understanding of what they are. An explanation is going to be found in my books. That's why I had to write them. Cheers. I wrote a series of books, the Creation series, just 3 books. I'm an author because I've published work, but I'm not a writer. Excuse me. I have information, and it's kind of hard for me to get out sometimes. My thought process is spread out all over the place. To some people I might not seem too intelligent. That's fine. People who listen to me for a little while figure out that my head is actually busy. When I was in school, I was an AB student. Every once in a while I get a C, and boy, I caught hell for that. Almost never brought my books home. It wasn't that life was easy, but always had a pretty good-sized brain that was functioning right, and a huge heart. My heart was physically huge. These are just parts of our body that we move our energy through. I'd like to. I wish we could talk, but I have to talk to you because I'm unable to talk with you. And there's a lot of people that listen. This channel is for people who want to become themselves, who want to awaken to who they really are, who want to understand why their life is the way it is, and what's been happening to them, and what's the cause of it, and how it's changing. I've had a lot of consultations over the years. I'm not a psychic. I don't do readings. There's no such thing as a psychic, and I'm very real. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. Love you anyway. That's not what I'm about at all. Even at this point, at the end of my life, this body, I have rock solid determination called fortitude. When it comes to that, I don't bend. But my fortitude is channeled not for aggression unless you think of making up the willpower to make sure you perform a certain function, then yes, in that manner I am aggressive. I walk through the water like a tree trunk being dragged through it instead of a leaf, that's moving around the currents more. I was made like that. It's not my choice, but I have no issues with it. I've become satisfied with who I am. Happy. When I do something that helps other people and they benefit through my actions, yes, I'm happy. I'm no one's servant, but I serve everything. That's what I am. That's why it makes me happy. My last life, same thing. I spent my last life trying to pull together the people of India, trying to get them to understand they need to stop fighting each other and stand up to their oppressors, and without even raising a hand, just say no. Non-compliance with wrong ideals, with wrong thought processes. Excuse me. Excuse me. And together, not by myself, but together, we pushed the largest power of that day out of India. The United Kingdom, Great Britain, whatever you want to call it, pushed them right out. Now, I've had lives in all the bodies. So most of you have had lives, not just in all the bodies here on the planet, but on many other planets. And I was just trying to get people to stick up for themselves. But before that, I was trying to get everyone to what? What do you remember about Gandhi? About his life? Asking people, when I was trying to build small communities, and actually I was trying to build a few of them, but I was hard pressed to try to get one going, is to get people to take their religious books and set them down for a minute, excuse me, and stand up next to each other, the neighbors, come together and speak, and just stand for a minute in a group and try and explain to them, now we are living beings, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart. Relax, feel who you are, feel our strength as a community. You remove the religion, and what do you have? People. Religions and governments, they're all worthless thought processes. Excuse me. Governments are necessary, but they don't have to be evil. They say, what? Government is a necessary evil. Well, that's because of the way they've been being run. And I'll say this once and drop it. Everyone's been run by the other side. That's how it is. The controls run the other side, but now people have more freedom. What was doing it and controlling it in everyone's life, every single being's life, is dead and gone. So that's no longer an issue. So you have a lot of freedom. Now is the time to express yourself. I want to say something right now, and I mean it. I hope that you've either have had a good day, or you're at the start of your day and you're going to have a good one. I'd like to ask you something. What constitutes a good day for you? Whether you just had a day or you're going to start one, what's a good day? When you get through the day and nothing really bad happens? When you get through the day and good stuff happens? What is there? What do you consider a good day? When you have a bad day, when things go wrong. So many of us look at our lives and say, why? Why did my wife all of a sudden have to literally try to run me over with the car? Hit me in the head with a frying pan, whatever. Why did my youngest daughter just spit in my face, take the car keys and run? Why did that guy just all of a sudden run a stoplight and T-bone me head on, killing my daughter? Why did my uncle's house all of a sudden catch fire and he burned a third of his body and he's suffering? Why did that happen? You look with your thought process, your conscious mind, you go look. You can't see anything. You have to try to rationalize, okay, my uncle or grandfather, whatever, my uncle was not thinking clearly. He shouldn't have done this or shouldn't have done that. Well, why didn't he do that? Why would he do that when that's not normal anyway? Well, things just happen sometimes. Every once in a while they do. But that's not how lives go. If you were awake, you would see what happened. These bodies are made for you not to come awake, for you not to be perfect, for you not to be fully self-aware. I was going to say like perfectly self-aware. There's no such word as perfect, okay? If you can take something to one extent, there's always that extra little jump you can take. There's no such thing. Don't frustrate yourself. Try to improve, things, but don't fixate on getting to this perfect place when it's not even there. Because once you get there, there's something beyond that anyway. So, so you're left wondering, what happened? How? The religions tell you there's an all-loving, all-forgiving God. Well, if this God existed and it was all-loving and all-forgiving, bad things wouldn't be happening in everyone's life. It's thank God for what he gives you. Okay, my neighbor's house burnt down and they died inside except for the little daughter, and she's burned over half her body and she's suffering in horrific pain. So I should thank God that that was them and not me, that it was their house, not mine, that this child is homeless, parentless, and in the street now? Really? You want me to thank God for that? This one time, this woman was talking to someone else that is something of a family member of mine. And this older woman came out and she said, well, I've got cancer and I'm working with chemo. You know, my hair fell out, and thank God someone was kind enough to give me a wig. Really? And she said to the lady, really? Thank God? You should thank God for your cancer. You should thank God for those horrific chemotherapy sessions you go through that leave you feeling miserable, living in an existing hell. The only hell there is what we go through in the body. That's the only hell there is. How do I know this? Because I'm fully awake. I cannot be any more awake and aware while I'm in this body. And there's very little of me left in here. It's important that I be in this state. Why? Because it changes my life. I'm aware of what's going on and why, but most importantly, it's because this is my job to help you get there. I need to go through things first and understand it if I'm going to help you deal with it. What teacher can teach his subject more properly than a person that's had to live in it? And I don't like the word teacher. It carries good, both positive and negative connotations with it. What is a teacher anyway? Someone who's aware of something that other people are not yet. So they want to help them get to a place of understanding. In that regards, the word will fit, but that's it. Creation has been around a long time. What's creation? Well, the original first being that just happened to be created through happenstance, through 5 different energy fields. That's in book 1 of the creation series, Essex Creation series. Go to Amazon.com, or you can go to the spiritualfoundation.com. We just don't have a direct link to the publishers anymore because it just changed from eCreateSpace to Kindle. We're on Kindle now, but it's the same thing. It's Amazon.com. All that's explained there. But it just came into being. That was happenstance. And then it became lonely. So it split itself in 2 different pieces, very similar but not the same frequencies. So it would have companionship, and that literally was the creation of male and female. The 4 new first beings that are in the first dimension are locked in there now. They're not. They don't need to do that. They won't be coming into physical bodies. Within 2,000 years, Earth years, the way we count time on this planet, there'll be 10% of the physical bodies in this universe will still exist. Now, it's going to be a higher percentage than 10% on this planet, but not much. So, it'll be about maybe 12%, somewhere around there. If you have physical bodies, you have abuse. Physical bodies never should have been created. People talk about, well, if I was energy, I couldn't feel. Really? You don't remember being spirit. You don't remember being your real self before you were slammed and locked into a body where you can't get out. So, imagine this, if you would. Here's a tree. There's bark on it. You feel it with your hands. You can feel the roughness, the outer texture of the bark, and the smoother part of the tree. Now you take your hands off. Imagine being an energy body, excuse me, that can condense itself to feel the outside of it, and then you minimize your density, so your energy again, and you slowly move your energy, controlling the density as you do, but you keep it soft. You move it through the tree, and you actually feel the grain and the spirit of the tree, and pull it back. You don't eat, you don't sleep. I guess you eat a little bit, but like the fey bodies, fairy, there are such beings. You literally can live for a month. Something that, my energy is very strong. Okay, you're not going to find anything that strong. I was made like this for a reason, and all the lives I've had have made me what I am. No better than nothing else, just what I am. I was built like this to protect the original first ones and everything else. And I eventually, they were destroying everything, hurting everything so bad, then protecting them became obsolete. My function changed, my format changed. Anyway, these physical bodies, they have all this abuse coming to it all the time. Animals kill animals, we eat animals. It's all wrong. It's all suffering. Okay, but these other energy bodies, something as strong as I am, can literally live for a month off the energy that I can pull off of a fallen apple. One fallen apple, a good-sized apple, and a thimble of honey. That's enough to feed me for a month. So yeah, you pretty much don't eat anymore. So there's no physical eating and waste and sleeping and pain. No, doesn't work like that. That's where everyone's going. And there are universes, other universes already being set up that have that in it. So as you come out of a body, you're going to rest, you're going to relax, you're going to go cruise around, get with your old friends. Our life, our natural state is not in a body. This is a temporary thing. Our natural state is as ourselves, spirit, sentient energy. That's how we live forever. These bodies don't, do they? Who the hell wants to? Not in a body. Imagine if when you go to work every day, out of nowhere, just all of a sudden, just say you're working in a cubicle, okay? I know we have different jobs and everything. Let's just go here for now, okay? Imagine you work during the day on a computer, you're doing stuff, whatever it is you like to do, you're doing it. Then all of a sudden, someone pokes you just like a finger, okay? There's not a lot of pain, but it's a poke. You feel it. It's like, and you look around, it's nothing. You can't see it. And then something pokes you again, and it just, you can't control it, and you can't see what's doing it. The next thing you know, your chair turns around, and the leg breaks, and you fall on your face. What the hell? How the hell did that happen? What's a little more realistic? Maybe you're working, you take a cup of coffee. How many times have you had a drink out of a glass, whether it's coffee, water, whatever? How many times have you done that all your life? All of a sudden, you tilt it too much and you spill it on you? Do you really think you did that? The chances are 1 in 1,000. The chances are 999 out of 1,000 that was done to you. So you'd spill something on you. There's other cases where from time to time you do something really stupid. Now there's different levels of absurdity. But every once in a while you do something that's really out of your character. It's not you. And your mind just phases out for a moment, and then you do something, and then all of a sudden your mind phases back in, and you're like, what the hell? You're probably not going to know your mind's phasing in and out. Your mind's going to go out of focus, and if you don't take the time to relax and go back and look right at it, then you won't even notice it. That was something controlling you. The original first angels used to take the servants, so the original first being, they did what they were told, okay? The living being, sentient being robots. They put their energy through the upper crown, middle crown, lower crown, right into the hypothalamus, where you create your understanding. And by putting a thought process in your understanding, they literally control you. If they tell you you must take a coffee cup and smack yourself in the head, you know you have to do it, and you will. And then the second they pull their energy out of you and you're yourself again under your own control, you're like, what the hell did I just do? And then what's the first thing you think? There's something wrong with you, right? Excuse me. No, there's nothing wrong with you, but something just messed with you. These are all small instances of times when you're not in control of your body, when something else is controlling your life. Now, would you want to be able to see who's poking you? If someone trips you while you're walking, don't you want to see who tripped you? It's an honest question. It's also very simple, and very basic. Why wouldn't you? Sometimes people will say ignorance is bliss. Well, it's good for things not to haunt you when there's nothing you can do about it. But personally, I want knowledge. I want understanding. Knowledge is data. I want the data to create my own understanding of everything that exists everywhere that I need to deal with. And I deal with things on that scale, on the everything scale. You can't be conscious, when you're in a human body, you can't be conscious of hardly anything. Okay? And that includes me. The stronger you are, the more you can do, but it's not even it's about a tenth of a percent, depending on how you look at it, what exactly you're talking about. Between a tenth of a percent and 1% is the maximum of yourself that you can move through your body. That's how slow, that's how thick these bodies are, and how they slow down and absorb and take your frequencies and just keep them from flowing. Why do you think you don't understand past lives? Why do you think, memory can be a bit of an issue? This is why you don't understand who you really are. You can't appreciate who you really are. Now, there can be people who are really proud of themselves, and they say, I understand myself. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, if you understood what I'm talking about, if you could get to that point, then a whole new world is going to open up to you. If someone over here awakens before someone over here, this person is no better than that person. It was just a different wake-up time. So what? But he did it at this age, I did it at my age. So what? It doesn't matter. This is relative to what's happening everywhere at one time, plus the time that you will put it in the body. I mean, it's just, everyone is in such competition with each other. It's so sad. You were made to be like that. Why? To keep you frustrated, to keep you fighting. Because the more you were stressed, the more your spirit is stressed out in the body, the bigger you get when you come out of it. And the original first being was growing you all like that. Again, I'm staying away from talking too much about that stuff. It's in book 1. It's actually in book 2 and 3 of the creation series too. So all 3 books are somewhere behind me, plus the rune book. So anyway, when you're at that desk working in a little cubicle, which is your life, and people are poking you, even pushing your chair around, when you can see them, when you have that understanding, you can finally focus your attention and thought process and energy, what you really are, on the problem. Who are you? Why are you doing this to me? When you say, who are you? You naturally, your conscious mind's thinking, but you instinctively, it's who you are, spirit. You start reaching out with your heart energy. You want to feel this person. Who are they? Why are they doing this? And you feel their intent. You feel their heart energy, and their heart energy is not engaged. You feel aggression. Sometimes you feel that you get a feeling from something that, and this is spirit now, you can't see it with your physical eyes. Then all of a sudden you get this feeling of this thing just wants to be an asshole. You can feel it. Like, the more you do this, the more you understand that. Well, that helps you deal with what's going on, but the main thing is to know what's going on and why. And there's people you can ask for help on that, and they're not in the body. Okay, well, for the most part. You can relax. If you just relax, let your energy just kind of float around a little bit. Just feel like that. Let your mind and your vision just kind of go out of focus, and just like a soft gaze everywhere without any focus on any particular thing. A nice full breath, relax outwards, go into the field and say, help me with this. Talk to your spirit guides. Relax like that, reach out to your spirit guides and say, get this asshole away from me. You're getting help now. Those original first angels, the servants, almost all of them are dead. They're almost all gone. but they're all taken away from people. No one has them hanging around anymore. Right now we have a lot of little cars and boats, whatever, just kind of going around, whatever, out of control, doing what acting out the way they had before through their life when they were controlled, being made to be a certain way. So people are kind of, a lot of people are really kind of being nasty, and there's nothing to control them. All this is going to stop soon. But don't you want to at least know what's going on to see who's doing it? So is ignorance bliss? To me, it's not. I need to know, I need to understand. That's my function. But I'm not here to talk about me. Explain a little bit about me, but not talk about me. Let's talk about you. How do you feel? What do you think? Don't you, it's normal for us, I'm just going to say it this way, it's normal for us to want to keep taking a little more information here and there, just bite off whatever we can chew at the moment, and then, digest it where it becomes understanding. The more you see, the more you understand, your anxiety level drops. That instantaneously gives you an easier life. Understanding takes the edge off of that blade of life. It helps us get through the day. As the years go by, in the next 3 generations, these physical bodies are going to change so much. The dimensional barrier between dimensions will not change. It will stay as strong as it is. Your abilities will increase. People say the veil is thinning, the veil between the curtain that keeps us from seeing the other side. Everyone's getting stronger. That barrier, what you're calling a curtain, that ain't changing. Y'all getting stronger. Give credit where it's due, and that credit's yours. Things also are being changed in people to help them see. All the source beings over here that are about to start doing crank-ups all over the world and on other planets, that's for a reason. Through the field, people are also going to get help. Source energy, strongest stuff there is. The strongest source energy there is going to be doing that, helping everybody. But those of you that get crank-ups from other people who are source, you'll start waking up stronger. So you will get to that point if you pursue it. If you make the intention to do so, you will get to the point where you can see and feel things on the other side, like I do. Exactly like I do. No, we're all different. So what? But you still see it all. 3 major PowerPoint functions in your body. Pineal, the brain, the pineal, the heart, and the solar plexus. Book number 3 of the Creation series, talk about the future, the ET arrival here and everything. It looks like that's been slowed down, the exact date, because I'm not out of here yet. But the second I'm gone, all that's going to start coming into play hard. We'll see. It's not December yet, but it was supposed to happen in December of this year. If you're the one that's supposed to bake a pie and you have to do it at home and you're not home yet, a pie ain't this, unless someone steps in to help out, that pie is not going to get baked. Okay. But anyway, so how about you? How do you feel? Do you want to wake up? Do you want to become aware of this stuff and start actually talking with people? Everyone's going to start seeing this more. The people who are really nasty, negative, that have been going into bodies, they're being taken out. A lot of them being deleted permanently, destroyed. The body dies, they come out, they're deleted. There's been a little bit of that happening, but that's about what's going to go nuts. That's what's about to go nuts. Happen on a big scale. So the people that are in body are going to be nicer. Literally your physical bodies are being made so that they can move more energy through it more easily. When I do these crank ups, I go into you and I literally release what's inside you. It's like energetic. It is energetic blocks that are actually made of other source, not mine, but not from Lily and Arae, but from the others, original first being, etc. And then I just literally just pull them out, and people just go, "Wow, I can feel that." You know, some people feel more than others. Wow, that was huge. Some people seem to feel more than others. I That's funny about how that happened. I just saw a raccoon, the image of a raccoon. It was raccoon energy being brought to me, animal essence. A friend of mine actually just made a huge raccoon body that was 6 foot long and about 4 foot tall, you know, off the ground. Just the image and the thought process there, the message of raccoon energy is the ability to do whatever you need to do. It means have faith in yourself that you can do whatever you need to because you have everything you need. And that's relative to raccoons having opposable thumbs. They get in the garbage cans, do all kinds of stuff. Animal essence has been around forever. Okay, the Lily and Arae, we had the first 100 million lives, and then the next 200 million lives after that, animal essence was having lives with us. And then after about 300 million lives had already been had, then Fae and human essence, which also include Fayman, but they didn't have their own category yet, started having lives. Then after the original first being male and female, I had figured out how to do that. Then on planet Youre, the energy, part of the energy in star Essenite, then she was blown up. And the sun was blown, her spirit mate, universal essence, this is simple book 1 in the beginning. Universal essence. Stars have male universal essence in it. Planets have female universal essence in it. And Youre was huge. And that sun, he just gave me a name, Raol, R, capital O dash L, Raol. This is what he told me, and I honor that. You tell me your name's Bob, it's Bob. I don't care. I see use frequencies anyway. I mean, that's our only real name that we have through our first and true name that we have through all our lives. Anyway, they were both, it was just made to blow up, both of them just boom. This star Essenite that we sell, it has star in it, literally star, and it's got a piece of the body of Raol, and then it also has Youre, part of her planet in there. Now these are the bodies of them. The spirit goes in these bodies. Okay, a star when it condenses and freezes, it's mostly crystal, almost all crystal. So anyway, so these two all come together. Plus, it's got Gaia's energy in there. So that's why it increases your core energy over 1,000%. That's why we sell it, and it's also littered all over the planet. It's a blessing, a gift from God. Yeah, you want to talk about your gifts from God? Don't go there with me, because I'll explain it to you. It's here for a reason, to help you awaken. So you can see things for yourself. Now these new bodies that are coming, the next 3 generations, what I was brought up a little while ago, you're gonna, these bodies you come in are gonna flow more and more energy. You're gonna be able to see more and more about what's going on. You're gonna have less negative people coming in, so there'll be a much better, happy attitude about things. People can be more relaxed. Excuse me. And the more you relax, what happens? The more your abilities flow. As you keep doing this, you're going to see more for yourself. And I had said a long time ago that what's going to happen is things are opening up, and everyone's going to start becoming aware of different dimensions where they can see through using their own abilities. Scientific advancements, cool, great, love them. Should they stop? No. what really needs to happen is for you to finish becoming yourself, because that's an advancement that can take you to other planets without a ship. That'll allow you to see farther than you ever will with the Hubble scope. That'll allow you to feel other people that you can't see with your eyes or an electron microscope. Our friends, our other family members, ETs from other planets, they're coming. They're here, but they're coming into your daily life. They've been here forever, but not like what's going on right now. There's so much traffic with ETs around the solar system right now. It's let's just say it's unique for us, but it's a busy place. So if you're having a life, going back to what we were talking about in the beginning, if you're having a life and you're aware of who you really are, sentient energy, cold spirit within a body, going through some tough experiences, aren't you going to calm down a little bit about the fact that you're here and try to get a little more out of what you can learn about what's really important to you? I mean, think about it. What do you think? That's what all this is about. What do you think? How do you feel? What do you think is right? Act upon that. You want to think I'm a nut? Cool. Love you anyway. Doesn't matter. The more you awaken, the more you understand, the easier it is to relate to what I tell you, because you see it for yourself. When I started waking up and telling people what's going on, stuff in their lives and everything, how do you know that? I have this friend, and then I explained what they're like, what the character is like, what they do see, and what's a few things happening. How do you know that? And I said, because I'm looking at it. I make people, and I told them, I make you stronger. I explain what's going on. I make you stronger so you can see it for yourself. And the end result is you create your new understandings with being more a full you. I don't know. I don't get where I'm selfish in that category or any other one, except if I want something to eat or a wine to drink or something, and I don't drink much at all. So that's what I wanted to talk with you about you becoming yourself. Talking with spirit guides, everything you need is at thespiritualfoundation.com. I don't allow commercials on this YouTube channel, and I will be out of this body soon. There's no such thing as soon enough. It should have been years ago, but whatever. In the meantime, I finished doing some work that is going to help people, so that's a good thing anyway. But everything you need to wake up, talking with spirit guides, those rune cards, there's symbols in there that I've brought to different planets and different lives. You've all been in different planets. I'm not some kind of special nothing. I'm just me. What I want, honestly, for you, is to find some way to help you see and then appreciate who you are. That's what I was about this life. I look around, I see suffering, and I feel sad. Every once in a while, I think it was my last video, I actually started raising my voice. Dana was concerned about it. Why? Well, because I get so damn mad. And I'm mad at myself. Number one, creation never should have been made like this. I understand why it was. That's in the books. But having to wait to this point to finally fix it after there's been so much suffering is sad. And it does anything but make me feel like I'm doing my job right. The reason why I was created. That's one reason why when I had consultations, and there's no more, okay? There's almost no more me. I had a real hard hit in my heart in my last video. That hurt like hell. Shut you down. When Deanna hears me talking and then all of a sudden she hears me shut down, she can feel. She can hear, but she feels what's going on. So she'll pop up and just kind of peek in when I'm doing a video, make sure I'm not laying down on the ground. I'm anxious to get out of here. My job, I can't do much more of anything until I get out of here. So if I'm summing up what I need to do, and I took two huge parts of me that were strong, both of them strong enough to kill, but at the same time needed understanding, and I poured that part of my spirit that's understanding. I took that and heart and put it inside these other two parts of myself, and I softened everything up and created something new. It's this beautiful red dragon. I showed a picture of it. It's all energy, dragon energy. No, this is not a Dungeons and Dragon game or fable. The power that is what we've seen as dragons a little bit, that's it's a separate set of frequencies, like unicorn. Another separate set of frequencies that came from Lily and I in the very beginning, the first time we met. We have images and stuff to help us try to understand things, but these are conscious images. Until you can relax and see things for yourself, well, you can't see what's going on. I said, Jay, talks so simple and sometimes around in circles. It's not as circular, it's not talking in circles as much as you might think at first. I say things in a simple matter because they are. You just have to relax to see it for yourself. I can't make you relax. And if you take drugs to relax, you're going to be knocked out. That doesn't get you anywhere. It's just sit for a minute, just sit there, take a few breaths. Take a, not forceful, but full natural breath, release it. Do that 3 or 4 times and you'll feel you have plenty of oxygen. You just relax. Let you focus just fall away to where you're barely gazing out at stuff. And don't move around. Just find a white ceiling, a white wall with nothing on it. Relax and float there. Maybe make a room in your house like that, where you have one blank wall, a 6 by 6 piece of white wall to sit in front of. After you can do that, then you can look outside in the forest, maybe in the sky, but let's not stay away from the sun, please. I understand it's hard for people to understand or have any faith in what I'm saying until they learn for themselves, which the journey itself, is there any more important thing in your life? To take better care of those you love? Don't you have to become yourself? And the more you are your full self, isn't that better for them? Soon, the new life's coming. You'll be more aware of what's on the other side. You'll know that you're in a body having a life to learn, to develop as your true self spirit. It's like going to the gym, putting on a body, working out, and going home. But the whole time, you're going to see the other side. You'll talk to anyone over there. It's like going away to college. You might be 2 states away, or maybe on the other side of the U.S. Maybe you live on the East Coast and the college is in California, but you can call or Skype anytime. Whoa. Anyway, that's what's happening. And that's what all this was about. that part of me, it's working on me hard. I've talked enough. I don't mean to ever talk around in circles or keep saying the same thing. I'm trying to find a slightly different way to say something so that you can relate to it more easily. But back to the spiritualfoundation.com, the stone spheres we have that we crank up. I've changed my energy, I've changed their energy. Those that were sold, I've changed them. If you have them, these max spheres, if you have them 20 to 25 feet away, they're working on you. If you're relaxed and you're sensitive enough, you'll feel it. Test yourself, you'll find out. Okay? And these spheres, you have them in a room with you when you're sleeping. The whole time you're sleeping, they're making you stronger. I explain that about, I got to put out a couple more sphere videos about the two newest spheres we have are the most intricate, intense spheres I've ever made. It's the max multidimensional vision sphere to help you see beings and stuff in all these different dimensions, to see all over the place. It's very strong in the pineal area, but it's not just that, it's the whole brain. Actually, it takes in the whole body, every part of you related at all to seeing, and it's not just the pineal, to seeing multidimensionally, but it's largely based through the pineal and the vision field. And then there's the max full vision sphere, which is seeing through the remote viewing, through this called a scanner right here. The pineal, everything. The heart, solar plexus, through the crown into the accessing what the field energy, which is, people talk about the Akashic records. People, it's the field. It's the field. If you go into the field and relax, you might see a being. You might, if you care about animals, you're going to see a huge black panther. Very strong, very powerful, anxious for you to access information. As long as you have a good heart about it, fine. You go in there wanting something or to hurt somebody, unless it's protection, you ain't getting squat. This abuse and aggression is going to stop. The cause of it's already been destroyed. Most of it, 90% of it. Anyway, didn't want to end on a aggressive note, but when it comes to protection, I get a little aggressive. The thing is that all this stuff is there. These spheres, like I said, when you're sleeping, they're working on you. There's no batteries. There's no nothing. No electrical cord. Always. They don't stop. They make you so strong that after you've had it a while, you might think, you know, it doesn't have that same effect on me that it first did. Maybe it lost half its power or even more. Take that sphere, go to a stone shop, find someone who can feel energy. Just look at them. You'll feel it in your heart. You'll feel it in your gut feeling. You'll see them being strong in your head. Especially if the pineal base. You say, you can feel stone? Yes. I said, please feel this. Just put your hands like this. These spheres right here are the ones I'm talking about. Put your hands like this and see if you can feel it, and it'll blow their minds. They're like, holy shit. Well, but hopefully they won't cuss, whatever. I don't always have the cleanest mouth. But anyway, then you'll find out there's nothing wrong with that. So, well, then what happened? Is there something wrong with you? Hell no, you're stronger now. And you pass those through your family. The only thing that can take the power out of those stones is me. And I never will. Never. If someone wants that and they're not very high frequency, they're not going to like what they feel when they feel that, because they feel me. Things that are aggressive towards others, they don't like me. So, I have more lower frequencies than any source anywhere. I'm just hanging over 3%. If I'm calm enough, it's about 2% lower frequencies. But those lower frequencies that I have, they're at the higher end of it. But the thing is, souls, very, very, very light souls, are 7%. There's almost none. The majority of people are 17%, which is of lower frequencies. 17% of their frequencies are lower frequencies, but that's clean and it's strong. Anyway, all that's in the books. Those books have information that blow your mind. Book number 3. If you go to Amazon.com, try to look through the table of contents. There's tarot cards, runes. That's not what it's about, but there's a section on it. It's broken into physical and metaphysical. Physical things that are going to happen, and it just starts as soon as I'm out of here. It starts happening. It's scheduled to start December of 2018. I cannot initiate that schedule while I'm stuck in a body, but it still might start then anyway. I don't know. I'm not worried about it because I'll take care of it when I'm out of here, and I won't be here too much longer. Too much longer. Excuse me. Those rune cards, there's nothing that'll help you learn how to talk with you, communicate with your spirit guides. There's nothing that actually helps you do that as well as those cards. Any type of card will help. Relaxing, talking with them will help. But the best thing there is those cards. You still have to initiate, and if you have trouble talking, use the cards. If not, those basic symbols, you can be relaxing. All of a sudden, okay, like right now, boom, I'm relaxing. I get 2 cards. The first one is lightning, and after that, I see Vesuvius, which is strong things changing. And that's literally this new part of my piece, this piece of me that I released into this other piece that was already out there. Incredibly powerful. He's saying, come on, we got to go. He said, right now, we got to go. There's things to do. So that's the lightning, and then the Vesuvius, which is a volcano erupting. You can tell by the image, I made it like that. And then there's stones in there, and they're all cranked up. They're not inexpensive. Some are cheaper than others. The Anisil star Essenite really cheap, but it's possible for you to find it on the ground. And like I said, book 3's got so much information, and it tells you how the actual spirit goes through the body. How does your body run? Where's the battery? Where's the extension cord? Everything that's moving. There's something in there. What is it? It's you, spirit. It's the real you inside the body that makes it keep going. When a mother's when a child embryo becomes a living being, and while all this is going on inside the mother's energy is running it at first when it starts, and then spirit's put inside to run it. Stillbirth, there was no spirit. So sometimes all of a sudden a child will come to life, and then the spirit's put inside it. There's so many things. The more you can see, the more of yourself is awake, the more you can see and feel and trust your gut. The easier your life is, the fuller your life is, the more you can do for those you love. This is why I needed to write the books, why I had to build these products, why I need to do these videos. I think right now at this moment I have 600 videos on this channel. Anyway, time for me to get off. So, what kind of day do you want? What kind of day did you have? One where you could see and understand what was happening, or one when you had to just deal with what you had dealt with and then try and understand why it happened? Which way is it easier to get to sleep? Feeling totally out of any control, just helpless, more anxiety, or understanding what happened and why and knowing things are changing? Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Folks, love you. Take care, and I hope you have a good one.